Howdy, howdy. All right, guys, I wanted to talk to you a little bit more. I wanted to talk to you. Come on, words, work with me. I wanted to talk to you guys this morning about what it means to have and to have not. At least my version of it, anyway. Because that's going to mean a little bit different to everybody. So this morning we're going to talk about it a little bit more in the aspect of resources of your plants, and if you have it, land. And if you don't have it, how to take advantage of that too. So we're going to talk about probably one of the simplest plants to take advantage of, which is considered a beginner plant, which is the aloe. So last year I bought an aloe at the end of the season that was in horrific shape, and I got a great discount on it. I forget what I paid for it, but it was very, very cheap. But being that it was the end of the season, means that it had to come inside, at least in my area. And if it needs to come inside, that means it takes up space, right? There's your second resource. First resource was actually purchasing the plant. The second resource is where you're going to put the plant. But you also have to consider a third form of resource, which is the knowledge and the wisdom to not only know what to do with it, but why you have it to begin with. And as you dwell into the Bible, you'll find out more and more that resources are given to lift up others. And with that in mind, we bought the plant, we brought it inside, because it's the end of fall, and we gave it a little bit of nutrients, and then brought it up into a sunnier spot because we don't have the greatest lighting inside the house. At which point the Lord blessed it. Why did the Lord bless it? Because we had already consecrated the idea of what we were using this plant for. We had already prayed over it. We had already had a plan. That plan was to be executed by us, but blessed by Him. Throughout the winter, the plant not only recovered, but also started throwing off some new offshoots. Those offshoots numbered in 9. 9 new offshoots, which then this spring we separated from Mom and turned them into their own pots, put some new soil in there, which we also spent the winter making. We composted a fair amount throughout the summer, throughout the winter, which again was a blessing, because anybody who has done any composting knows that through the winter is a royal pain in the rear end. But nonetheless, the Lord still blessed it. So now here we are into the spring, right? We've got the main garden in. We're starting to work on the raised beds. But the aloe plants that either A, didn't sell, which was then funds turned around and used for lifting up others, or B, weren't given away, are now left over, which I forget how many we have left, but we're going to take care of them today. So today, nope, I guess I can't flip it. Well, I guess I'll just show you this way. Today, we have these two, plus the ones I've already moved, which, let's be honest, I didn't think of making this video until after I already started the work. So we're gonna grab this last little one here, which again, is looking in terrible shape, because I let the main garden take priority, and these guys got left out in the sun way too much on the black driveway, and they overheated, because I thought they were gonna all be sold or given away. So now what we're going to do is we're going to plant them in the ground in soil that is conducive to them. Why is it conducive to them? Well, bottom line is because it's terrible soil. Aloe does not need the most nutrient-rich, water retention possible. In fact, it actually wants the opposite. So that's the first part, right? We know the soil that we have, and I'll show that to you in just a second. That soil is very, very rocky. I live in East Tennessee. If worked properly, you can make it very nutritional. Very nutritional. There we go. Words. Also, I'm putting them underneath my fruit trees because which is what I'm working on underneath now. It's underneath an existing canopy, right? And it's also on the edge of a bank that I need to get more roots in, because all these trees here behind me, eventually I want them gone with something that's more productive, right? Now, aloe is not known for keeping good roots. However, like I said, I live in East Tennessee, which means sun, lots and lots of sun. Aloe is great for what? The number one thing everybody recognizes? Sunburn, right? We get lots and lots and lots of sun, but not just for sunburns. It can be used for any burns, 1st degree, 2nd degree, or 3rd degree. Pray against all of them, but especially the 2nd and 3rd degree. So, I guess with that being said, let's pause the video. I'll get a little bit closer shot of what we need to do. Okay, excuse the angle change, but I'm gonna have to put you on a step stool in order to make this video. So, here's what we're working with. Here's our fruit tree. Here is our sunburnt aloe. Not looking good. However, still very recoverable. So, while we're waiting for our looks like we might have a storm rolling in. All right, while we're waiting for our lawnmower and our weed whacker to be up and running, we're going to take advantage of all this overgrowth, right? It's not too bad right now because we just had the goats on it about a week and a half ago or so. Resources. But we're gonna grab a hold of this and just start pulling a lot of it down so that when we're done, we can put it around the aloe, which will act as a mulch, right? Resources, resources, resources. What are they for? Blessing others. We're going to use these resources here. I'm going to throw them right onto our fruit tree base. It'll break down, it'll feed our trees. I get asked all the time, and actually not asked, I get told all the time, but Tyler, I don't have the financial capital to do all the things that you're doing. Guess what? Neither do I. That's not to say that I'm putting myself in a bunch of debt. It means I'm taking advantage of what the Lord has blessed me with and move on from there. All right? The more that you use the resources that He's already blessed you with, the more He'll entrust you with. Right now, what I have is a very rocky, very uneven piece of land that is in need of some attention. So that's what we're going to give it. And we're not just going to simply throw everything in rows, which we do have things in rows, there's nothing wrong with that. But we're going to put them in areas where these different plants are going to be working together, right? So the aloe in this case isn't going to be giving a whole lot, but it is going to be receiving, which means we're going to have to make up for that. And we'll talk about that in a later video. But as far as resources go, what did this one cost me? This one cost me an aloe plant at the end of last fall. I don't know, I want to say it would cost me like $6, something like that. It cost me also last fall, an extremely cheap, and let's be honest, not so great shovel, but it will get the job done. And that's about it. The dirt itself is on the property that, again, the Lord has blessed me with. Is it paid for? No. But do we have to have this dirt? No. This started out in a pot. A single pot, which then were transferred to other pots later on as it grew. I don't need to have this dirt. This is a blessing. This is an opportunity to take advantage of what the Lord has given me so that I can turn around and use it for blessings for others. You better believe that the aloe that comes from this will be for others as well as us. All right, we're not just looking at ourselves here. We gotta remember we're here to lift each other up. All right, let's get this thing going. Okay, fruit tree hole. Now we don't need a giant hole. You can probably hear, I hope you can hear. Excuse the wind, I have absolutely no control over that. Is all the rocks, right? But we don't need a really deep hole. We just need basically slightly smaller than what we have in that pot there. We can go the full width of the pot, but it's not really completely necessary. Rocks. Lots and lots of rocks. Which we're going to take advantage of again. Why? Remember? The aloe likes rocky, sandy soil. Well-drained, rocky, sandy soil. That's what we're going to give it. Okay, so we have our hole, right? We have what most would consider to be this terrible soil, right? But not as bad as most people think. I've talked to a lot of new gardeners recently, and I keep getting the same answer all the time. But Tyler, my soil is just so rocky, I can't ever get through it. I get it. But you've been given hands, you've been given feet, and you've been given an opportunity. That's all. Just an opportunity. An opportunity for what, Tyler? Well, I'm glad you asked. An opportunity to do the absolute best that you can. Lord don't ask for more than that. He asks for the best that you can. All right, let's get this aloe on the ground. So we're going to take our aloe, again, very terrible aloe, and we're going to take this whole pot and we're going to gingerly dump the soil into the hole. And this is soil that I made up about 3, maybe 4 weeks ago, and it just wasn't good enough for what I needed to do. It was good for trying to get it from one location to another because it will hold the nutrients, it'll hold the plant, it'll hold some water, because plants don't like being transplanted, right? So now we're going to give it better conditions. So we're going to take our pot, we're going to kind of squish the sides on the off chance that it's stuck together, which it shouldn't be because of the way it was mixed. And then we're going to pour and pull at the same time. There, see? That's all the roots that this plant has. Not much at all. Set that off to the side. Now here is our soil. I'm gonna go ahead and break all that up. All right, so now this is just too much nutrients, too much opportunity for it to get compact. And well, basically we're gonna root bound the plant. So what we need to do is we need to mix this with our native soil, you know, that big, bad, nasty, terrible, rocky soil. I'm gonna mix it in with that. So we're gonna take some of that, dump it in the hole. Just gonna mix it up. So now what we've essentially done is we've created a semi-nutrient dense hole ready for this aloe. We still have this big old pile here, which we're going to use for 2 more things. We'll get to that in a second. So now let's put our aloe in. Go on. And I just put a little bitty hole in there just to go to where them roots are. Put it in. I'm going to try and keep this plant as straight up as possible, like that. And then just push the dirt in around it. Okay, so all I did was put it in there. Just kind of put my hands and pressed it in so that the plant stands up, right? Now, to try and keep our soil there when it rains, I'm going to take all these rocks, right? All these big rocks or whatever rocks, essentially putting gravel around our plant, which helps the splashing from the rain from pushing all that dirt up onto our plant, which is later on going to cause problems like blight and other fun stuff or not so fun stuff. And it helps mark where this plant's at when I go to do the grass and weeds and whatnot around it. Now it doesn't have to be anything pretty or perfect. I mean, you can dress it up if you want to, but all I'm trying to do is keep this plant from running away with the rains, because by digging that hole in that hard rocky soil, it's going to hold water, which is why we dug it a little deeper, not wider, but deeper than what the plant is, so that the plant can reach down to the water that it wants, and that's it, right? The rest will slowly seep away, but key word there is slowly. Water will go to the easiest routes possible, and we just created a very easy route right there, which is slightly downhill. All the water from up there is going to come down here and get caught in that hole. So we could create a berm around it, but it's not that big of a deal. All right, and we do however many more we have. All right, love y'all. Get out there, do the Lord's work, do it for Him, not for ourselves, for Him. Love every one of you. Bye.